hooping creators, it's a saturated field. So like what's gonna make you stand out? Whether or not, like for example with overthinking, like he stands out a lot because like even though he may be doing the same dribble moves, but look what he does with them. I mean, he's
Yeah,
dribbling
look at his environment.
he's dribbling underneath water. He's dribbling like, by billboards, dribbling in stores.
Crazy.
Primo, I just put my team on. I could probably justify having been in
Boom.
it. That's my baby.
Yo, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Preem Pod. I got today special guest, content creator, Hooper. I'll let you kind of tell the people who you are, what you do, and why you do it, man.
All right, so what's good, y'all? It's the Hooded Hooper here, aka Hooded. I'm a basketball content creator. I make videos at Peachtree Ridge Park, and I just make outdoor motivational videos, or I make just funny content, to be honest with you, or relatable videos, really and truly. And
Mhm.
I try my best to engage with all my fans. If you DM me or just like even comment on the video, I try my hardest to just respond to every single one of them. Not to act Hollywood, but trying to be
Yeah,
like everyone's favorite Hooper for real. And I'm kind of new to the game, but currently got 12.6 thousand followers on IG and growing. So that's just a little bit about me right now.
yeah, man. And it's like I love like because it's so many different content creators out there, and I just love the ones who you can truly see their individuality, and then like everyone has their own thing. So I
Mm.
can't wait for the people to know some of the stuff that I know, that about you that they probably don't, and that's why I love doing this to kind of let you guys, pull the curtain back and show them who you are, so that. It's easy for people to leave those mean, weird comments when they don't know who you are, but usually after things like this, people usually either get less or more depending on how it's received. But
Yeah.
I want to kind of take it back to before, like now obviously we're content creating, we kind of found a lane that we're sticking to. But talk to me like before we got on Instagram, when we were like first getting into hooping. What are like some of your first like inspirations, or kind of like what pushed you into like picking up a basketball?
So I'll be completely honest. Besides my favorite basketball player being Kyrie Irving, another
Okay.
content creator who actually really did inspire me to get into content creations, believe it or not, is Dave Hoops.
Dave
Um,
Hoop.
yeah, his IG is DAV and then Hoops. So he kind of does content similar to me, like motivational content, this is and third. So like I started noticing him doing it, and it like inspired me because he'll go out to a park, whether it's raining, sunny, snowing, windy, or whatever the case be, and he'll make his videos the same way. And that inspired me to kind of be like him, or be better than him, I should say. But yeah, I would definitely say when it comes to like content creation, he definitely did inspire me. Same with other content creators like Whoa Elijah, who also happens to be a good friend of mine, Kamani D2, and CJ No Cap. They also inspired me to just keep on going because they do similar things as well and funny skits with it. So
Yeah, I like, and I checked them out, man. I'm like, wow, like it's really cool to see this community, and I like just shout out to Overthinking Hooper, man, just open this all up, because now it just made me just look at more of you guys, and I'm like, I like this community, like you guys, it's just such a, people like the things that I think guys use, like the things that we use as escapes, are just so like just so cool to me. Like we just go and find these wholesome things, like we're just shooting hoops all day, and like that's how we're easing the stress, and I just love it, man. I love to see everyone kind of using that and like bringing creativity into it. But
mhm.
like after that, or even like before that. So when you first were picking up a basketball, like what were some of the things that pushed you into like that the first stages of that?
Really and truly, basketball has always been my favorite sport. So just always seeing people hoop at a park, it just made me want to get better because when I originally started playing basketball, like I wouldn't say like I was the best person that I know. I wasn't the worst either, but it just motivated me to, be able to learn some new skills, to be able to actually like play a game with folks, whether it be shooting, dribbling, layups or whatever the case be. And then of course a lot of my friends, they play basketball too. So oftentimes, like I don't want to be that one guy where it's like, you can't really hold up your weight on the court. So that just like
Yeah.
motivates just go out to the parks by myself, and whether or not it's like I'm just shooting all day or just like working on simple dribble moves, at least I'm like getting 1% better every single time. And then I just combined that with like recording myself. And I figured like, why not? Because a lot of people, they like relatable videos. So a lot
Yeah,
of people like they enjoy looking at someone like, going to a park or even just hooping by themselves because it's a very therapeutic thing to do, honestly. Gets your mind off a lot of things. It's just fun to do too. It keeps you out of trouble. So yeah, I
yeah,
just that's more so like why I enjoy doing it.
no, yeah. Is it raining?
No, it's not. Um,
It sounds
I
like
don't.
a sprinkler is on or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that sound is. Nah.
Maybe it might just be, I can still, it'll still, you can still be picked up. It should be
Mhm.
fine. I just wanted to make sure, like, it wasn't like raining, ugh. But yeah, man. So from you from the beginning now, it sounds like it was just so in the family. Like, was dad hooping? Like, do we have any hoopers that went, college ball or anything there?
To be honest with you, not that I know of, because I'm in a sense kind of like the lone wolf of my family. I didn't grow up with a
Mm,
lot of my family, whether it be on my mom or my dad's side, just a few of them. And the ones that I do know of, like they played football or they just
okay.
played other sports or they did like other things. So as far as like hooping, I don't really know too many hoopers in my family, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably if we check the family tree when it's so natural like that, it's usually something in there. But
Mhm.
okay, now walk me through like, 'cause a lot of us shorter hoopers, like when it comes to like high school ball, it's a little harder to like, continue or to even, get on those teams. But talk to me through like, high school ball. Like, how was that for you? Or did you try out for teams or how did that go?
So to tell you the truth, I never tried out for a high school team. I actually originally started off being a tennis player and a soccer player. Like those are my two main sports, and basketball ended up being my third sport that I picked up. So in high school, I was on my tennis team, but I should have actually tried out for the basketball team because I went to like a predominantly black high school. So like they wasn't really focused towards like tennis or anything like that, or even soccer.
Mhm.
The big sports at the high school was basketball and football. So, but at the time, I just didn't really try out. Like I can't even give you an answer as to why I didn't. But I mean, looking back, I should have.
Yeah,
Um,
I say the same thing by myself. Like I just did it because I was short and everybody on the team was like at least 6 feet. So I'm like,
yeah.
it's probably no point. But yeah, like so would you say you prefer like pickup or is it like team ball or like what's your favorite type of game to play?
Honestly, just based from experience, I do a lot better when it comes to like team ball. Pickup can get a little bit, shady when it comes to
Yeah.
things of that nature. But when it comes to like actual like organized team ball, like I do thrive the best because like depending on like who I'm playing with, we will start learning like how to play with each other. Like if I notice someone's a shooter, they're asking for it in their hot spots, I'll pass it to them. If they notice I'm a shooter, same thing, or just like dribbling, like you just gotta kind of adapt to like who I'm playing with, and I feel like I do that better in team ball.
Yeah, so yeah, I prefer team ball too. Like I'm a system guy, like even in like, regular life, I'm just a system guy, so I like to learn and adapt.
Mhm.
For you, are you a gamer? Like do you play 2K at all?
I do actually.
So
That's
usually
probably
people who are good team players are good at 2K.
that's actually probably like my number one played game besides Call of Duty for real.
Yeah, it's the only thing I got on my P5. I don't got any. I just recently re-downloaded Fortnite because I'm like they took the building off, so I'm like maybe I'll give it a try. But yeah, bro. So I was asking this because yeah, usually people who are team players and like system guys like on 2K we thrive because we're good at adapting. So like I noticed that when I play, like if someone doesn't change the way that they play by halftime, I won because like I'm gonna figure you out, and if you don't got different play styles for me, it's bad. But like for
Right.
you, who are you using on 2K the most these days? Like when
The
you go in
Mavs.
quick play.
Mavs.
Mavs?
Yeah, the Mavs.
Dang, I haven't heard that. So are we just spamming Luca or is it like you using that whole team?
I use the whole team, but like if I really need like quick buckets or I'm like really trying to like, put a gap in the score, I'm ISOing with Kyrie.
Yeah, I've tried with them, but I like to use the whole team and it's just man, it's some I'm not gonna say bums because in real life they can hoop, but 2K don't respect that game. All I say, bro, like they be blowing wide open layups. But okay, yeah. So Mavs, I'm mainly Spurs these days just because they have a nice squad. Like Spurs and Lakers is my go-tos. But okay, so and you are you mainly in quick play or do you do any of the association, my team, that type of stuff?
To be honest, I'm really mainly a my career dude when it
Oh
comes to
wow,
like
okay.
mine. I mean, I play quick play like if the homies are over at the crib and they trying to run, but like I don't really hop on 2K and just like go straight to quick play or like quick play online or whatever the case be.
Okay. Yeah, I've gotten more to that because I'm like my career got like the park just got so competitive and I'm like I don't have enough time to keep my player competing with y'all. So I'm like I just gotta tap out until I got the time. But okay. Have you thought about like gaming or do you do any like streaming and gaming?
So I will say I definitely have put that into consideration. I actually that is something that I do want to do. It's just really finding like the time and balance to do it because I got a lot of things going on between like the hooping, content and then even school because well, obviously people wouldn't know. So let me just say that I am in pharmacy school. I'm in my
There
third
we
year.
go.
So yeah, I am a very busy individual between just studying and hooping and just obviously like going to runs with folks and it's really like
Yeah.
networking with people too. Because as you know, yesterday I was with Will Elijah, Kamani D2, and CJ No Cap. We was literally in the open gym from at least 10:15 all the way to like 3 in the morning, just working on.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we was there for like a very
Oh,
long
I
time.
gotta I gotta come out, man. That
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, like obviously, I really do want to do the video game streaming. I already have my mic set up as well, and I have a gaming headset, and I'm definitely skilled enough to do it. It's just really finding like the time to do it, and obviously, I need to get a few more equipment like the green screen and just some other little things. But it's definitely something I plan on doing, and obviously, the name's gonna be the Hooded Hooper. Go by Hooded, Even my PSN's the Hooded Hooper underscore. So
Yeah, so we're gonna have to definitely tap in with that. So I mean, we can. I'm always down. I always down to talk business live on air. But yeah, man. I mean, people will find out that we're locked in the more we work together. But yeah, we're definitely locked in. And once I mean, we're launching ours. Like I just got someone finally. Like my manager Lex, she's in a couple of our chats. I'm gonna
mm,
have someone finally gonna be doing the scheduling. That's not me. The reason why like things might not get scheduled is because I'm doing just too much system stuff, back end stuff,
mm,
sales stuff. So now I have someone who can do that. So now, yeah, we gonna get that schedule because what I want it to be is for you to just be able to show up. Like it'll be just on your schedule. Boom, you're gonna show up and you're gonna play 2K from this time to this time. It's like
I got
it's that's easy. Just show up and cut the camera on. So that's how we're trying to set it up. But yeah, we're definitely that can jumpstart it, and then obviously you're gonna do whatever you do. But once we start doing this, I feel like that'll give you let you test it out. You'll get to see what doesn't work. But I'm excited to see yours, because
you.
pharmacy school is huge. And I'm like, I hope you incorporate that as much as you can,
Yeah.
man. This dude's about to
I
be a
actually,
drug dealer out here.
it's funny because I plan on doing a video to incorporate both of them. I got the idea when I was at the hospital on Friday. I was like, okay, cool. I know what I'm gonna do now. So you just
Bro,
got,
I can't wait. You need to do like a collab. Like I would have spoiled nothing, but what I want, if this is already the idea, oh, all right. But what I want is you and Hooded to know you and the overthinking to be at the hospital and just dribbling around some patients. That'll be the best collab like of all time, bro. I'll pay to see that.
in
But
fact, I
okay.
gotta get in contact with him. Like I mean, I'm trying to do a collab with him, but it's
Yeah,
just
I would love to try to set that up. I know he's super busy, man. We've been chatting a little bit back and forth because we just chatted a little bit after the strip club video had went like viral, and then the girl who was on the pole got her Instagram taken down, was reaching out. We were trying to help her out and stuff, so we was chatting a little bit, but he's been like super busy lately. So
mm,
hopefully this week we can tap in. But yeah, man. So like now it's like you got a lot of things on your plate. You got a lot of things you're doing. So we got pharmacy school, we got hooping, we got creating content for hooping, we got
mm.
studying. How do you balance all of these things right now? Like, what do you have any tips for people trying to do as much as you or anywhere near?
That's a very good question. So I will say it is not easy to balance any of it. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like as if like I am perfect at doing this because I'm not. There has been plenty of days and nights where I have lost a lot of sleep, where I'm probably functioning off of like 2 to 3 hours of sleep.
I feel that.
As far as like my advice when it comes to it, you just got to keep on going. If it's something that you know for a fact you want to do, honestly, just try to make the time for it because, even though we have 24 hours in a day, that's not enough.
It's
Like
not.
just not enough. So sometimes you're just gonna have to lose that sleep. Sometimes you're just gonna have to get up and just go to wherever you want to record a video and just record it. Sometimes you're gonna have to, balance your time better. So if you know for a fact, like in my case, typical example, tomorrow I have an exam on some math stuff. So, obviously I have to study. But at the same time, we had this episode for the podcast, and I have to, edit some videos. And on top of that, I'm hooping later today again with Will Elijah, Kamani, and CJ No Cap. So it's really just all about like how you balance it, like just set aside some
Yeah,
time. Like, okay, cool. I will spend like maybe 30, 45 minutes to study. And then I'll allot X amount of time for like hooping or editing. You know what I mean? And just like kind of following that system. And then the more you just do it, is the better you get at it because like it's a process. It's not like a one-time thing because content creation it never stops. And I always tell people like once you start, you just know what road you're going on. Like you just got to keep on walking because like you want to obviously get bigger. That's the goal. Like you don't want to create content for no reason. Like obviously it's
yeah,
fun and all. Like you want to get noticed. You want to get more followers. You want to hopefully make some money from it too, because that's like the big thing now. But
yeah.
not to say that you want to do things just for the money. That's not what I'm saying. But it is a
Right.
perk at some point. But yeah,
Yeah, I always say the rule of thumb is don't start anything with the purpose of getting money. But once
right,
you
yeah,
start, you want to monetize. But I always say, don't say, "Oh, I want to be, a teacher because I want money." It's like, no,
right,
don't go ruin kids' lives. Like, actually want to. Same with going into anything in the medical field. Like, please don't go into the medical field for money. Like, that's
right,
just
yeah,
do it
that's
because you love, people. But yeah,
right.
man. So yeah, I love that. Because I mean, it's hard. I also someone who involved myself with a lot of things. Currently, I'm even trying to sell different ventures and sell different businesses just to get myself some more just peace of mind and just let myself focus on one thing because it can get overwhelming. But kind
Mhm.
of talk about what's next. I mean, now we have a pretty decent sized platform built up. Are we in a position where we're looking to play overseas and go pro? Are we gonna go all in on the pharmacy thing once we graduate? Like, kind of walk me through that.
So honestly, I'm really trying to do both. I'm trying to be the most
Mm.
different type of pharmacist you'll ever meet. Like honestly, the most relatable pharmacist.
A
Like
content creating pharmacist is crazy. I can't wait.
That's literally what I'm trying to be. So
Okay.
honestly, I would love to go overseas. I would love to play overseas, like if God willing, But if not, I wouldn't trip. But
Right.
pharmacy school and being a pharmacist, that's definitely going to be the number one thing for sure because that's just what I want to do my entire life. But I will say, when it comes to the hooping, that's not stopping anytime soon. Like even if I have work, let's say 7 to 3. I'll still hoop the same day. Like I'm still gonna produce the same amount of content. Like I'm not slipping up with that. It's just people just my goal is I want people to know me as the doctor who hoops. Really.
That's hard. That's hard. Okay. Because I can think of so many just content creating, like, there's so many different routes you can go and spin that. So, like, I'm definitely excited to see that, play out. So,
Right.
dang, bro. So, like, when it comes to like a possible playing overseas, like, do you think like that's something you'll be able to do, like, as a pharmacist, like, and maybe seasonally do it, or like how would that work?
Honestly, I would say probably seasonally, but again, it really just depends on the other party when it comes to overseas because like, whatever certain requirements that they have that you have to meet, I can't necessarily speak on it if I'd be able to meet it due to the
Right.
fact my rigorous schedule of like, patients and just being a pharmacist. Um, so I will say it is something that like I would have to figure out as I go. I'm not gonna know all the answers like right then and there, and that's perfectly fine because that's
Yeah.
usually like the trend in my life. I just figure things out as I go. But I know for a fact it is something that I would not be interested in doing, and so yeah.
Man, yeah, I'd be excited to see it, man. It's just something with the branding that could just make you be known regardless of how good you are. And then we would just hope that, our talent's backing it up. But regardless of like any type of like whatever you actually do, just you being a doctor, it'll just cause for so much, oh my God, let's see what he go do type of thing. So,
Mhm.
they can set you up to have a nice little launch as a, as a overseas player. So that would be dope to see. But yeah, man. So now I want to take it to NBA just because it was funny interviewing the Overthinking Hooper. I was so excited to talk basketball with him, but he was like, I do not watch NBA. I hate the NBA. I'm an N1 guy. But I respected it because it's so hard these days people would just rather just say they like the NBA even if they don't, because everybody just want to, say what everybody want to hear. So
Right.
it was cool to hear someone stand on their ground and say, no, I don't like the NBA. But yeah, like with you, man, like who we been watching, like who's our faves this year, and who we got taking it all.
Okay, so as far as like who I've been watching, obviously, obvious answer would be Kyrie Irving because again, that's my favorite player.
Wow.
But as far as other people that I have noticed, definitely Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is another one. Uh,
Yeah.
I look at a lot of Cam. Yeah, what's his name? Damn.
Thomas?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah. So him, and then who else I'm trying to think of? Bradley Beal, KD.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
KD.
this year?
Well, in general, I would say like
Okay,
obvious,
okay, 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 okay.
but like not this year though. Like no, not this year.
I have
Um,
like a really like my dark horse trade that I think is gonna happen that no one is talking about is
mhm,
Bradley Beal for D'Lo and something. That makes the most sense, honestly. That to me, like, because Bradley Beal doesn't fit in Phoenix to me, just not at all. Like he's just an extra guard. If Devin Booker has that covered, they need a point guard. I
mhm.
think that trade's gonna happen. It's gonna shock the world. But keep going. I just had to say that.
No, you're good. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of anyone else that Wemby. I definitely look at
Oh
Wemby a
yeah.
lot.
I
Uh,
cut on I have his alerts on the NBA app. I have it telling me anytime this nigga breathe, bro. I need to see.
look at Wemby a lot. Who else? Steph. I definitely watch Steph a lot too. He's
Mm.
I wouldn't say. Well, actually, yeah, he is low key one of my favorite players because a lot of my game is modeled from Steph. When it comes to like the shoot first guard, so definitely. And I'm trying to think of some other person that LaMelo.
Oh
LaMelo.
yeah.
LaMelo. I definitely watch a lot of
He a
LaMelo.
dog.
I love his shoes. His shoes are fire. I'm just gonna his Rick and Morty shoes. Always
Dog,
wanted them.
it's crazy. So I didn't even watch Rick and Morty till like recently, like as in the last couple years is when I found it. And when I saw those shoes, it's crazy how like branding works. When I saw those shoes before I saw the show, I'm like these, like what the fuck are these? But after seeing the show, I'm like, bro, I'm like these hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like I low key need a pair, bro. But yeah, so Lamelo, I also like anyone who play makes. So like um,
Terry Rozier is
Lamelo. Luca is going to end up being one of my faves after LeBron retired. Like, I'm trying to search for who going to be my next LeBron, but I just think I'm never going to be like that because it was like
yeah.
as a kid, you grow up with it. So I don't think there's no player I'm gonna like follow like that. I'm about to just be like watching and picking in teams. But I really like the Thompson twins. Like, I love people who have developed defense first in the league because then I feel like learning how to shoot is way easier than learning how to play defense to me.
Right.
Like, because it's times where shooting is just muscle memory. You know that you're off. You're only off if you're not in a gym. I think. I don't think you can just be in
Right.
the gym consistently and just be off unless you're doing the wrong workouts. But
Right.
yeah, like they both can't shoot for shit, but they got some crazy defense and
Yeah.
just some crazy passion. But who do you have taking it all this year?
Ah man, that's really a good question. Because most of the time when you speak on these things, the same people that you think is gonna take it all, they end up disappointing you.
Yeah,
Uh, but I will be honest, I would love to see the Mavs take it all, mainly because of Kyrie and Luka. I would love to see them get a ring together.
that would be.
It would be crazy, but I don't know if how realistic that would be.
The way
Uh,
Luca's playing with the right injuries, like God forbid, I don't want to wish that on anybody, but it happens every year in the weirdest ways. With the
mm,
right injuries, if you give Luca the chance, he'll capitalize. But
right.
I think he'll have to get like a crazy opportunity. But
Mm,
with both of them, they will also just need to make a trade right now. Like they need something. I don't
yeah.
know. They need a piece, but I can see it though. Who do you? So that's a person. So those are people you want. Now, who do you think is going to actually take it when it's all said and done?
Who do I think? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can low key see the Knicks taking it.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. So like you can see them. I honestly like again, Jalen Brunson's another player where we seen him play in the playoffs
Hmm.
with no Luca and
Right.
hold his own. So if like right now they got a lot of injuries, but if they can have everybody healed and like maybe just trade for a big real quick too, because
Hmm.
I think what Mitchell Robinson about to be out for the rest of the season or something,
Something like
or is
that.
he back? I saw some report about him. I gotta check it
Sure, he's
again, but
back. Yeah, I don't know.
I could definitely I could see that too. Dang. So yeah, they got who they got. They starting lineup is Brunson,
Mhm.
um, DaVincio.
Yeah, Da
That's
Vinci.
his name, DaVincio. Anunoby. So I've never really watched his game just because he's just one of those players that's nothing against his game. It just seems like maybe boring. Like he kind of just plays his game. He's not flashy. He kind of doesn't show much emotion. Have you watched much of his game?
No, just clips every now and then, but no, really, the a lot of people that I watch would be sort of kind of like a little bit flashier players, like obviously Jalen
Yeah,
Brunson,
same. I like creativity.
and creativity, things of that nature. I love the Jamal Crawford. A lot of people don't talk about him a lot, but Jamal
Yeah.
Crawford's a bucket. Bradley Beal's definitely a bucket. Paul George definitely a bucket. Um, yeah, so things of that nature, and I love actually watching like small forwards who could really hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like dribble moves and do all that.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Like
really
Paul
watch.
George.
Paul George. In my opinion, when it comes to like dribbling, he's low key probably the best small forward. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to
Yeah. Actual ball handling and like actually having being able to break ankles. Like
so
KD is great at dribbling, but he's better at it, I think. You
yeah.
said what?
No, I said I don't want people to take that the wrong. I'm not saying he's the best small
Yeah,
forward. I'm just saying as
right.
far
Because people, bro,
as
yeah. I mean, I think if he never got hurt, like with the trajectory of his career, I don't think people think about what he was doing over there in Indiana. Like he
I
was
was gonna say Pacers.
that if he would have kept progressing, because it I hadn't seen him slow down in the progression, and people don't talk about that. Like he was on the up and he got hurt. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't like up and then like did like this. And, no, he was
yeah,
going. His stock was rising. Like because he was another player who came in the league defense first, and then everything else was just forming, just like Kawhi. Like that's why I really love people who just come in the league and the first thing they know how to do is play defense because they usually can just have a super long career. Because if you're known for defense, bro, you always got a chance. Speaking of for you, what do you feel like is the thing that separates you the most when it comes to your game?
when it comes to my game, honestly, I think what separates me the most is like I'm a shorter guard with defense, and I can actually shoot.
So you're
Uh,
another defender, okay?
I'm a defender, so I really, when it came to basketball, I started off defense first. Really
Okay.
and truly, and like all the other things were starting to form along, but like really because of like I'm quick, I'm shorter a lot, so a lot of taller people they hate when I defend them because it's like they try to do
Say,
flashy. I'm like I'm already seeing it, and
yeah,
I'm with you. So like the whole meme that people do is like, oh yeah, like when the 5'6" scrappy guard is playing defense for their life, yeah,
yeah,
because like
yeah.
what you want me to do? If I'm going against someone who's 6'5", like what do you want me to do? I have to play defense
You
like
got
my
to be
life.
jumping, hacking. I mean, I try not to hack, but like
Yeah,
when they can dunk, I'm on you because like you're not about to. We can't let that happen. But
yeah.
okay, so we come with the defense. Okay, so talk me through like finding your shot because I know you have a shot that I can tell that you found that in the gym. So like, have you went through a lot of shots, and are you at a point where you shoot the same every time you hoop, or are you still kind of trying to find a shot?
So I will say, like when I first started working on my shot, like a big issue I had was like my guide hand, like flicking my guide hand a lot and not keeping it
Yeah,
like steady on the ball. So like over time, like because I started shooting outside on like a double rim. So like on a double rim, you actually have to like shoot
Whew.
better in
Yeah, you
comparison.
got no
So
room for error.
yeah, so like literally, and what was also helping me too is just like recording my videos and just seeing like, okay, cool, maybe I could space my feet out a little bit more, hold my guide
Right.
and not flick it. So that was helping me. And then obviously just going in the gym by myself, working on it, even getting advice from like other players and just watching videos, doing my own research, that helped me like find a shot that works for me. Will I say it's perfect? No. I am still working on it, but I will say like more that when I'm in the gym, I shoot with the same form more than anything. And sometimes, depending on like how the defense is on me, I might change it up a little bit just because of time to get the shot off. But for the most part, I try to stay consistent, like with the same shot. But I still have work to do on that.
Yeah. And I asked that too, because like because of the inconsistency of me being able to hoop, just because lately how busy I am, like I haven't been in the gym in like months. Just I'm also just my finger messed up right now, but
Mm.
like I find that every time I go and I watch my clips, every single time I shoot differently. Like there's no type of, and that's when you really are a streaky shooter, because that's when you can come one day and maybe you figured out a shot, so it's working, and then the next day the one you trying on don't work. Have
Mm.
you ever had a period of life where you kind of was shooting different every time you went to a run?
Yeah, definitely. When I first started the content creation thing, there was sometimes like I used to get frustrated with myself because like there'll be one day where I'm shooting lights out, then the next day I'm like breaking, even
Yeah,
airballing.
it's the worst.
So it's that's when I really started like locking in, going on YouTube, like looking at shooting forums, like little things that I could do to like, change the shot up, like tucking the elbow in or like preloading my wrist or things of that nature. And then I started just
Mm.
incorporating them every single time. But like I said, I'm not perfect at it. But for the most part, like now where I'm at now in comparison, like when I started, I would definitely say my shot got a lot better. And a lot of people said the same thing. They told me that like, oh yeah, you actually have a shot. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. Like when you just go
Yeah,
out.
as long as it goes in, like, it's
Yeah.
like we got Halliburton's, I mean, Luca's jumper is very unorthodox. So it's like people really need to, I feel like it really doesn't matter how you shoot. Like all those
Right.
videos I feel like are helpful for creating your shot. And it's just like when you're about to create your build,
Right.
builds need to really be not just a build you found online. It needs to be, cohesive with the way you play 2K. Same with your shot. So like, I feel like if it works and you practice it and it's like, it's consistent, you can do it, like do it. So yeah, I like that. I could tell that you found it because it seemed like it just works with your rhythm, and it goes. Are there times where you come and you kind of lose it, like when you first come and you gotta like, get it back, or it's
Yeah.
like now is it just kind of like muscle memory?
I mean, for the most part, it's now really muscle memory, but I will say every now and then, there will be times where like I'll come and I'll be like, dang, like why am I shooting like this? But then like,
Yeah.
after shots start, okay, cool, I'm back in rhythm now. So but that happens like even like as a content creator, even yesterday when I was with the content creators, like, we all have moments where it's like, dang, we're breaking, like we're not making a shot.
We're bricky. Yeah.
So, but it happens like we're not perfect. Even pros break too. So
I
yeah.
feel it, gang. I feel it. And now, like next for you, where this year, like, do we have any big plans for like local runs, events? Like, cause now we're like I'm not sure where you started with followers last year, but it seems like it's gonna be your first like full year with this type of following, or correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, you're absolutely correct. So when I started last year, January,
Uh,
no, wait, no, I lied. I started in 2022. Yeah, not 2023. So
okay.
but when I started with 70 followers, and then I grew.
Mm,
Yeah, and so then literally within like maybe 5 to 6 months, I went from 70 followers to about like 5,000 followers. And then towards like the end of the year per se, that's when like things really took off. I got like my first really viral video, almost got 1 million views on it, like a little past the 500K of views mark. So that's when things started really looking up. And then now here we are. So yeah, like this year would be the first year where it's like I have, 12,600 something followers and I'm starting off like that. So I'm excited to see like what's gonna happen for this year. Things like this, they could be a little shaky. You never really know, but I'm just hoping that people notice my videos. They're willing to want to follow me and just, support the content. And yeah.
Man, I'm hoping too, man. So man, I'm not sure if you're interested in stopping by Michigan, Detroit. Like there's not much here, but like, I mean there's a lot here
Mm.
personally, but to others, there doesn't seem like there's much here, but we're looking to get a league going by the summer and then like get the league, to raise enough money so that by the winter we can get us a venue and get us a building, get going and like so we don't have to stop and we could just do leagues year round, like have a summer league and have a winter league. Like that's my goal locally. So
Mm.
like if you like, I'm trying to like, and all the people that we're connecting with right now, like I'm trying to make it so that even we can really like fly you guys out, do some crazy events, some
Mm.
tournaments, because there's just so much. I mean, now this is I'm a hooper, so I'm like I always wonder like how could without going the NBA route, how could you still do it? And it's with the lane that you guys have created with this, online we can really do anything. We can create a whole league and like, get people to watch, like for
Mhm.
sure. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what's next for you, man. So like talk to me about the life and the career of that Hooper that's also a doctor. So like are we going to go like own practice with it? Are we gonna like, what's your perfect scenario as, being a content creator slash Hooper slash pharmacist doctor?
Yeah, so honestly, I would love, well, for starters, at some point I would love to have my own compound pharmacy because I plan on going to compound pharmacy. And then when it comes to the patients that I deal with, I plan on being like very relatable with them, having conversations when it comes to like art, uh, basketball, just literally you name it. And just the more relatable I am, I want to kind of introduce the fact that, oh yeah, like I hope too, I make content. This is my Instagram, like, follow if you want to see more. This is and third, and kind of doing like little incentives with it too, just being really creative, So
Yeah,
maybe for a fact, like let's say every month we could have a patient, like, if they want to do a 1v1 or something like that, or even just collab in a video, just like,
bro.
we could do something like that. But it's just, obviously, it's more things for me to think on, but it's going to be really exciting because just all my life, I wanted to be a pharmacist. All my life, I've actually just wanted to hoop. So now it's just like both of them are just in a sense like being combined with each other now. It's just like it's really like surreal to me. I'm just like, man, like I really manifested this from like years ago. I told myself what I want to do. I told myself I was gonna be influential to a lot of people. And I just see it like happening. So it's like really excited to just like be on this journey. And I just hope that like, the things that I want do actually get accomplished.
Man, I wanted to, man. I could just see the ambition and drive in you too. And dude, like I mean, it's dope to be able to cross those two together.
Mhm.
And I do, if you want it, you can have it. Like my brain is marketing, all I think is marketing. But if you're a pharmacist and like let's say you're working with a lot of athletes and maybe you're helping them with pain or you're helping them with, get through their injuries. If you did 1v1s like after they got better, like that's not only marketing you as a hooper, but that's marketing like the fact that you're a good pharmacist and now that they can play you without paying. Like especially if they beat you, like win or lose, it's a dub. Because like if they beat you, it's like, oh, I'm a good pharmacist because he beat me and I'm pretty good. Otherwise, if you win, it's like, I'm good at what I do. So that's dope, bro. That I can't wait to see you kind of combine those together.
Mhm.
But kind of talk me through like, the since you walked into content creation, since you started this journey, some different opportunities that have shown themselves to you because of this route that you've taken.
So definitely, it's crazy enough. I've met a lot of people through just content creation and hooping, like Woe
I
Lodger,
bet.
CJ No Cap, Kamani D2. I met them through content creation. A lot of brands like True Height, The Bucket Culture, Vita Coco, Draco Slides really got them to be on my side just through content creation. So it's really
Mm.
interesting to see all that happen because a lot of people they ask me like, how do I do it? Do you like reach out to these brands? Do you reach out to these people? And I will say a lot of it is networking. Like sometimes they'll reach out to you, sometimes you have to reach out to them. You have to be really friendly. So, who would have thought, like, like I'm not the biggest content creator I know, but who would have thought that like these brands with like over like 400,000 followers and just like, they're really up there. Even NBA players like wearing their gear. Who would have thought that,
Yeah.
they're noticing my content, they're willing to work with me too. So, the sky's the limit. It's just really about how you market yourself, what you're willing to do. If you're willing to be uncomfortable in situations, a lot of situations, because sometimes you're gonna have to send like a lengthy text. You're gonna have to send a
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to send a LinkedIn test.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make it seem as if like you're like in a sense like I wouldn't say begging, but more so like you have to be hungry for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I mean, because I know just talking with Sean, talking with, overthinking about different things that they walked into, and it's dope. Like, you guys are all finding your own lanes. You guys could potentially provide for families,
Yeah.
provide for your families doing something that people would tell you you need to get a job, instead of do. So, that's
Yeah.
why I just always love to talk about that because all the haters and all the people online, that's what they don't really, sometimes they get to see it and they choose to ignore it. But, I love for you guys to be able to talk about the good side of content creation and the things that come, from it that you love. But of course, we will be remiss if we didn't talk about, the bad side of content creation and like the things that happen that we don't too much care for. So what are some of those things like lately, like, that you've seen on the not the best side, like things that you would, you can live without from content creation?
Um, I could definitely live without like the hate and animosity that you get from people for no reason.
Yeah.
For some reason, sometimes you'll post a video and then it'll go viral, but it'll go viral for the wrong reasons, but at the same
Yeah,
time, right reasons, because you get hate on the video and people don't realize like, yeah, you're hating on the video, but you're actually helping me right now too.
yeah,
But I mean, the only reason why I say I could live without it is because like it kind of sucks when like you're trying to be a positive person on the internet or just do what you got to do, and then you have
mhm,
groups of people who just are so adamant on wanting to hate on you, or so adamant of just wanting to just talk something about you, or just not find the fun in what you're doing. Just like dang, like you can't be happy with the video, you can't be satisfied. Like you always got to comment on something, so. But I mean, obviously, like a lot of us content creators, like we do get that. We was even talking about it yesterday when I was with Will Elijah and all them. Like, it just happens. Like you can't control it. There's always gonna be people who's just gonna talk. It's just, whether or not you really let it get to you or not, to be honest.
yeah. And I see a lot of it. That was the biggest reason why I was excited to interview Overthinking when I first got in touch. Because I'm like, I see he gets a lot of hate, and I'm sure he's not a bad guy. So I'm like, I would love to show people like he's human too. And I definitely don't credit to our interview, but I've seen since that our interview a lot more positive stuff. But that's just because he's also just getting so good and just he's getting even deeper with the things that he does. Like there were some videos I didn't think he would be able to top, and it's just like it just keeps doing just the craziest things. But yeah, just talk to me through like I mean when we try to balance mental health and being a content creator, a lot of people try to make it seem like it's just super easy to ignore everything you see, just because people it's easy to comment things online when people don't get to see you at your lowest or don't get to see you when you're kind of, going through the motions. But kind of walk me through like, the days where it's not as easy to ignore some of these things.
Yeah, so just me, obviously I have a personal life too. So there's been days where like certain things that goes down in my life and really affects my mentals. And some days
Yeah.
it's hard for me to like really hop on a basketball court, much less even work out. And I've had a lot of those days, but like I've gone like maybe a week or two without making any content or even hooping. It's not to say that I don't want to, but it's just like the thing is like hooping and just really the game of basketball overall, it's a mental game. It's like playing chess. Like if you're not okay up here, it's going to translate onto the court. You're probably going
Mhm.
to go onto the court, miss all your shots, even shots that you normally make, even in your hot spots. You're probably not going to be dribbling the ball right. You probably might even get into a fight on the court, like So
Yeah.
it's just like there's a lot of times like that for me, where it's just like I'll be completely honest, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Like sometimes you have to step away from social media. Sometimes you have to
Yeah.
just take a break from it because as much as it is a good thing, it could be a very bad thing. It's like a double-edged sword. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize that because like sometimes I feel like they don't necessarily realize that, like you said, like we're human too. Like, yeah, you may be hating on something, but it's like, how do you not know that like I'm not having like a terrible day? And like me trying to post
Yeah.
that like a way of me like trying to like boost my mentals up, and then here you go, just like hating on me. It's just like, well, dang. So
And people act like because you're a content creator, that means you deserve it. Like, I'm a type of person to where I'm like, I believe that if we put ourselves out there, there is a chance, but I don't think that excuses that it might happen. There's a chance you need to be prepared for it. But I also think, like we said, we could definitely live without people just projecting insecurities on you. Because if someone's hating on you and they don't know who you are, there is the only way if they never even met you in person, the only thing that they could possibly be doing is projecting because there's no way, no how you know who I am. You haven't met me. So
right.
it's usually just them projecting their own insecurities, their BS onto us and onto content creators. And I do that is one thing I can live without. But talk to me through anything else, man. I mean, that's like the Debbie Downer thing, but like I know editing and like things like
Oh,
that and having a caption created and then Instagram just closing the app and now your whole video is gone and you're thinking about just scrapping the whole thing. Like walk me through the technical side of stuff, trying to, edit and like keep pushing that content.
so a big thing when it comes to editing is, for one, we have to take multiple clips sometimes, and sometimes we
Yeah.
have to go onto third-party apps like CapCut, upload the
Yep.
video. Got to go through the whole entire video and see which parts you want. Then you have to see, okay, cool. What audio am I going to use? What caption am I going to use? What hashtags will I use? how can I make this video into a video where it's like it's gonna make people want to actually watch it, you know? Like how long am I gonna make the video? Because you know that's all like a little algorithm thing. Like you don't want it to be super long, but at the same time you
Yeah.
don't want it to be super short either. So it's just really finding that balance, you know? And just again, the big thing is like something that's catchy, especially when it comes to hooping. The hooping creators, it's a saturated field, so like what's going to make you stand out, whether or not, like for example with overthinking, like he stands out a lot because like even though he may be doing the same dribble moves, but look what he does with them. I mean, he's
Yeah,
dribbling
look at his environment.
he's dribbling underneath water, he's dribbling like by billboards, dribbling in
Crazy.
stores, by police, like it's creative. um so yeah, like that's what it is. Even with me, I've been realizing that I'm doing a lot better now is because like rather than me doing like, multiple things trying to like produce that, I've been focusing more on shooting videos.
Mm,
I've been realizing that it's like, okay,
that's
cool.
right.
Because even like, well, Elijah and them, they was telling me, they was like, you have to find something where it's just like, okay, cool. Like, what are you gonna do that's gonna be different? And I was like, okay, cool. So that's why I tried different things. Like, like I'll do a shooting video, then I have an NBA video with it, or I'll do like a funny shooting video, or just like something like that. But I realized I was like, that is my game. I'm predominantly a shooter, so I might as well
Yeah.
just make my whole page tailored to like me in a hoodie, and it's like I'm not necessarily doing anything crazy, but it's like if I'm coming down the court, odds are 9 out of 10, I'm probably gonna shoot the ball, and you're probably gonna have to guard me out there, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
just little
feel
things like that, just like kind of like trying to be creative in that aspect. It's really a lot of work that goes into it that people from the outside looking in, they may not realize it. They may think it's like, okay, cool, I'm setting up a camera, I'm just gonna do whatever. But no, like no, sometimes we have to sit there, we have to plan like what we're gonna do, you know.
yeah. Like it's an
Yeah.
empty canvas, and they
Yeah.
and they think that this 5 second video it took 5 seconds. You just it's the and that's why they think anyone can do this. But I'm like a lot of them couldn't
Yeah.
add content creation to their schedules like you guys have. They couldn't do it, or they think that it's easy to just post videos when it's not. You have to figure out the algorithm. You got to figure out what times are better. You got to figure
Yeah.
out, there's so many things, your keywords and all this, and they think it's as simple as it looks. And that's just the double-edged sword of content creation because now there's eventually going to be award shows for content creation. There's going to be all these different things
Mm,
and people are gonna still talk crap about it like it's not hard. But it's one of those things where only the people who do it really understand, just like artistry, just like sometimes for athletes. Kind
mm.
of walk me through like, type of like what type of conversations do you have when people ask you what you do when you're not talking about the pharmacy side? Because you're lucky enough, not lucky, obviously you put the work in, but you are someone who doesn't really have to say you're a content creator if you don't want to, because you have a very respectable thing that you're doing. But walk me through the conversation that you might have with family or friends or just people out in public when you explain the content creation side. Like, how does that come off, and like, how do you feel when you're expressing that?
So basically, I will just start with family. So it's funny because a lot of my family, they don't even know that I'm doing this. They don't know that I'm a hooping
As we
creator.
usually keep it.
Yeah. So, but a lot of my friends, they noticed because like they was here with me along with the journey. Like they started off with me. Like, a lot of my first few followers were like my closer friends, to tell them like, hey, follow me. I'm starting like a basketball page to support. So that's that. But when it comes to just like other people that I meet or newer people, a lot of the time it really comes with marketing because 9 times out of 10, if you see me out, I'm probably gonna have a hoodie on. It may not
Yeah.
be like, like a designer hoodie or something like that, but I'll have a fit on with a hoodie depending how I feel. So, if I meet someone and, we're marketing or just like mingling with each other, whatever case be, and then they bring up Instagram, I'll be like, oh yeah, like, I'm a content creator. Like I make basketball videos. And I'll be like, oh yeah, what's the
Mm,
on the IG? And they'll be like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then sometimes a lot
word.
of people be like, oh yeah, I've seen your videos before. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And we just
That's
have a
dope.
conversation over that. And then, yeah.
Dope, man. Dope. I mean, yeah, it's really cool. I mean, to be able to get online and just enter this space where, I mean, Sean, I talked to Sean a lot. He talked a lot about the validation that comes with it, because sometimes just like the bad comments can like hurt us, like some of these good comments can make us feel kind of good on some of these lower days. So like kind of talk me through like, what pushes you to keep going with this? Does like some of these good comments contribute? And like kind of where do you see this ending up this year?
So honestly, like I said, I started off doing motivational videos, so a lot of like my first loyal followers, they know me based off of like my motivational videos. And I would get a lot of messages from them being like, hey, thanks for this video. It really helped me get through the day. Even people in my pharmacy school, like some of my friends in pharmacy school that see my videos, a lot of times they'll tell me, be like, yeah, your videos are therapeutic. Like it really helped me like, study or just like just get through whatever I was going through. And it really makes me feel good because especially like doing these things, like yeah, you receive a lot of hate, but when you hear people like really speaking good on your video, it makes you feel like, dang, like I'm really impacting the community in a positive way. Like even though I'm not like the
Yeah,
biggest person I know, but at least even if it's like 100 people just telling me like, hey, like thanks for the video, or just like something like that, it's really gonna make you feel all bubbly on the inside. It's gonna motivate you to keep on going because now it's just like, okay, cool, I could really actually tailor to a lot of people. Like they can relate to me, you know. And
yeah,
it's like I want to keep on being relatable. I want them to, keep hitting me up and just wanting to talk about whatever. Like I have this dude named Vlad. He's not even in America, but like he hits me up every now and then, just to ask me for advice or literally just talk about family, just whatever the case be. And he's a really cool dude. So
mm,
things like that I really appreciate because it just goes to show like, like if you're really committed to what you're doing, if you're really not doing this for the money, you will see like positive results for real. Because like you'll see that people actually like looking at you like it's like yeah, like he actually is like a humble dude. Like he's not Hollywood because a lot of these content creators they get their followers, they get their clout, whatever the case be, and they think they're better than everyone. It's just like nah. Like even when it
yeah.
comes to like when I get even bigger, like I'm still going to be the same dude that I was when I had like 500 followers. You know? So
Yeah. And I really think money can only change the people who get into it for money. But if you start something not because of money, it can possibly still change you, but it's people who get into things just for money are very susceptible to just changing their whole identity once they touch it. I
mhm.
found because yeah, I can just people like you, people like Sean, people like overthinking, and I can't wait to be able to meet guys like Will Elijah and kind of hear more of their stories. But it just seemed like a lot of you guys are just some good guys who just like hooping and just it's no bad blood. It's just, good vibes. So, I definitely I definitely want you guys to all, I'm definitely going to keep following and just keep trying to use whatever resources I have to just, help all of you guys and whatever I can. But yeah, I mean, what are, as we wrap up here, man, what are some just biggest takeaways and just biggest things you want to leave with the audience when it comes to content creation, hooping, and just, making it out of 2024 alive?
So my biggest thing is stop telling yourself you can't do it.
Mm,
Stop having that mentality where it's like, you're not good enough for something because like I said, I'm not the best hooper I know. However, it's just like just go out there and have fun. Stop
mm,
worrying about what people have to say. Stop just being so much in your head. Like if you really want to do something, even if it's not basketball, it could be swimming, it could be soccer, it could be running. Just think about it. You could go viral on social media for practically anything. Like so
yeah.
it's really just how you do it. Like you could go viral just sitting down in your room. But it's all about like what are you doing sitting down in your room, you know?
Hmm.
So that's, just my biggest takeaway is like if you want to do something to push yourself to do it, stay consistent, draw up a game plan. There's gonna be days where it's not perfect. Like, cause for me, when it comes to my videos, like I don't always pre-plan my videos. I freestyle them most of the time.
Wow.
But just have like a game plan as far as like, okay, cool. What do I really want to get out of this? Like, do I want to, get partnerships with businesses? Do I want to get money? Like, do I just want to meet a bunch of people, or do I ultimately just want to change my life overall? So me personally, I told myself that I want to change my life completely because I grew up in a single mother household. I met my
Mm,
dad, when I was like 13 or 14, but I didn't grow up with him. Um, and then it's just like, just going through a lot of like traumatic things that I've been through in life that I don't want to disclose on the episode.
yeah.
It made me just really just want to tell myself like, nah, I can't really live my life like this for the rest of life. Like I want to get better. And on top of that, when I end up having a family, I don't want my kids to just go through what I went through. Like, I want y'all to be better than me. I want y'all to see like, okay, cool. Like dad, he went from this to this, and it's not to say that I went to college for any of this or like, D1 player, anything
Well,
like
the
that.
other stuff, but
Other stuff.
still.
Yeah, yeah, for the other stuff. Yeah, not like the fun stuff, but yeah, for hooping, I didn't go to, like I wasn't D1 or anything, but it's like it's all about like what do you really see yourself doing? I told myself like I could see myself influential when it comes to hooping or just whatever. So like here I am, and I'm just happy to be on this journey, to be honest. So
Man,
that's another thing too. The last thing I'll honestly say is just make sure that you enjoy the process.
enjoy the process. Yeah, and learn to enjoy the process, I
Learn
think,
to
because
enjoy the
sometimes
process.
people have to learn to even you don't know what that is. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, just I always feel great at the end of talking with you guys because you guys really just that hooper in me. I'm living vicariously through you guys because I'm gonna definitely get into more basketball content creation. I have like a bunch of clips from like my LA Fitness runs that like I was posting that once, but I need to get back into it. But yeah, man, we definitely, I mean, I definitely appreciate you taking the time out of this crazy busy Dr. Hooper schedule. So I definitely want to
Yeah,
let you get back to whatever you got planned for the day.
yeah,
But just yeah, man, just let everybody know where to follow you, again,
gotcha.
just remind them who you are and let's just sign off here.
I got you. So again, it's the Hooded Hooper on Instagram and TikTok. So THE in Hooded Hooper. Again, the
Mm.
Hooded Hooper, and I go by Hooded. So yeah, just definitely follow my page for more motivational content, funny content, and just collabs with bigger content creators. Like for example, me and Sean, we was actually talking today. So yeah, definitely we're gonna get something in the wraps with that. And it's just yeah. So that's all I can say on
Man,
that.
looking forward to seeing it, man. Appreciate you sitting down. We're definitely about to be talking the rest of the day. We got some crazy things planned, but yeah, man, stay blessed,
Love
and
it
we'll
when
be
that
talking
kitty bite
soon.
bad like Tito.
Yeah, appreciate
90
you,
proof
Sean.
in my double cover
No
lights me
problem.
know. Henny high is my libido. I'm 7 mile pushing 80 like the Vito. Cause she sent some pics without her T on. Which tells me I need to